Dun, 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 dun. That shit gets me so hyped. What up, Jeff? It's Mr. Thomas here, Mocha Traps, your one and only. We are live. It is 6:05, theoretically, Eastern Standard Time. I'm back in Tampa. I got a t-shirt on that I bought once and never wore it, so I figured I'd bust it out today. Jeff, this applies to everyone who's watching this, with the exception of you. I do indeed like pizza more than people. The only thing I like more than pizza is wrestling, and we're here to talk Major League Wrestling in a new episode of Fusion. Jeff, how are you? First time, long time. Introduce yourself.
Indeed, it is first time, long time. Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Jeff Lippman, the barely a co-host, an expendable sidekick here on the show. Some know me as Dose Evil or Evil Dose. Thomas has burglars going back and forth. And
I don't know who just fucking scrambled across here. The cleaning lady's out of her fucking mind. I tell you that.
Wow, it's crazy there in Florida. Stand your ground. Stand your ground, Thomas.
I heard the door slam excessively, so I had to look. What's up, man? This was an easy show. I liked it. I did get a new car. Are we going to talk about this live, or are you going to expose me?
You don't have to. I mean, I'll just.
Right, I'll only say so much. I'll only say so much. But I did my car got delivered last week, and I'm very excited because the process of buying a car in this country is dog shit. All the rules and regulations, especially in the state of Florida where I live, where you can't fucking scam old people or brown people or any people. The only thing that still exists, as a lifetime salesman who has made commission for over 21 years of my adult life and has never had an actual salary to pay my bills, car sales is the worst fucking thing that's ever existed in the history of life, and the lack of regulation of this bullshit makes me fucking sick. And if I had any fucking hair to pull out of my goddamn brown head, my big dumb brown head, I'd be completely bald because of these motherfuckers. But the good news is I got the car of my dreams that I saved up my entire life for, and I'm now a proud owner of an Audi RS7, new body style. I won't say what year, but I promise you it wasn't brand new, because much like my father, someone's going to Google it and then type back, way outside my price range, kid. But I assure you, as a cheap fuck whose last name is Steinsman, I didn't go buying something without a fucking deal. So I did my research, and I got a car.
Wait, your last name isn't Thomas?
My first and last name is Thomas. But Mr. If you dive deep, my real last name lets you know that I'm cheap, bitch. So as litigious as you are, as cheap as I am, but I now have a car that I love. And if anyone's in the market in the Tampa area for a used Audi A7 of 2016 with low miles and well-maintained, DM me. I'll sell you a car for 10 G's, bitch.
Well, let me tell you something. My family has a car guy. So we have a car guy who deals with all of the dealers. And
is his name Tommy?
No, his name is not Tommy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was Bruno.
So
my fucking guy.
He'll tell you which cars not to get. He's like, I won't sell you that car. He really loves the Rogues. My parents have two of them.
My ex had a Nissan Rogue. I love that thing to death. She still drives it to this day. I don't like her, but I highly recommend the car.
I probably should have gotten the Rogue because it's sensible, but I didn't want to feel like, I don't know, a suburban mom. So
no, I had one as a rental lately in the past year. It was a good vehicle. Good vehicle.
So I got a manlier version, which is the Nissan Pathfinder, but it's just a lease. I know that's not a good investment, but cars aren't a good investment generally.
Cars are not a good investment. I bought a car that was a little overpriced, and for the twin turbo V8 that it has, maybe in this economy, probably not the best to fill it up with 93 every time. But worst case scenario, Jeff, we can always trade this bitch in or set it on fire, or if we get lucky, she'll set it on fire for us, and we'll get out of it scot-free.
Well, I'm married to a Latina, so there's a pretty good chance of that.
Well, first they key your car, then they cut your tires, and if you're lucky, then they set it on fire.
Yeah, but then they kill you. So I mean, you have to know the whole poem. You have to learn the whole poem before you get married. So
we are so off topic right now. We went from 6:05 Eastern Time to 6:11. We've yet to talk about wrestling.
Do you want to know
production? Show me what we're talking about. Look at this magic.
Why we can go off? God. Because this show was 39 minutes and 16 seconds, including advertisements.
I don't mind filling in a little pre-life before we get to this show. Keep the graphic up, production team, our crack production team out back there. I woke up this morning on a Monday. You're not gonna be surprised. Not in the best mood. It's a bad knee day, a bad stomach day for your boy. And I opted to watch 5 hours of golf on my 5-hour flight yesterday instead of 39 minutes of Major League Wrestling. And I didn't regret it until this morning. But this was a quick watch, an easy watch. I like easy wrestling. This was all wrestling to the point where I checked the time at the bottom, not because I was bored for once. It's because I just wasn't sure where we're building towards next week. And I almost was just confused that we didn't have massive storyline. But we did have massive storyline. It just didn't feel like it.
Yes. And the card for next week, if the producer can find it, and for the end of our show, it's mostly out as well, though part of it is the card for 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, hold on. I have some notes here. I scrolled down, and we probably won't have the graphic now because we're jumping way out of line here. But I think I have in my notes that next week we have. Should I spoil it now? It's not going to ruin the continuity of the show.
No, it will not.
Mads Kruger versus Big Damo.
Yeah,
next week, a Haas match on free television. I really like that because that ties in together. I don't even think that 6-man was last week, was it? Was that the week before? Are we 2 weeks removed from that 6-man?
No, it was last week when Big Damo came out at the end. I said, "Is he in Contra?" And you said, "I don't know if he's in Contra." I'm like, "I think he's in Contra."
I think he was just looking for a way to start shit, but we're going to go over that. And there's also a trios match, Mystico and his boys.
Yeah,
I didn't write down the card. I didn't write down the specifics because I knew
Diego Hill's in it. I'm pretty sure Austin Aries is in it, along with Mystico and Diego Hill, which makes sense. Your old nemesis Ultimo Guerrero is in it, and I want to say Hechicero, but that can't be right, can it?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it later on. We'll get to it in the notes, I promise. But as the Fusion poster on the screen says, we started out with my favorite thing and my least favorite thing at the same time. I love me a good contract signing, brother. And the word of the week, sponsored by Script King RX. Please go to scriptkingrx.com. Get your discount card on all prescriptions worldwide. The word of the week is fuckery. And in a record setting, I went 3 words of my notes before using the word fuckery. And it just says contract signing fuckery. This is the first 3 words of my notes, Jeff. I love a good contract signing. I hate some bullshit. This was both, but we eventually got to our point. Opening credits, play the music, outcomes. What's your boy? I'm going to remember his name by next week.
Rich Bocchini.
Rich Bocchini.
Yeah.
Rich introduces Killer Kross, and we're going to have a contract signing with Kojima face-to-face. So that's how we got here. That's where
Kross is not alone, and it's not Scarlett, which was a giant downgrade.
Yeah, this long-haired blonde was not Scarlett. Matt Riddle out as the +1 with babyface Kross, which, if we can talk about that for a second, only makes me wonder why Riddle was so attached to Kross. I know the story leading up to this, but in this one moment, as I'm typing my notes, the word fuckery came out, but it led to some fuckery. So I'll digress and let you dive in on this.
Well, as the expendable sidekick, I too was confused because last we saw these two, they were enemies, and Riddle was all but shaming Kross in every way.
Is that how you took it? I took it as a necessary battle amongst friends.
Well,
isn't that how the storyline was built?
No, remember Tom Lawler used to say all the ways that Matt Riddle was disrespecting the sanctity of the dojo and how people train and what they do and they don't say. And Tom Lawler was giving us those insights.
Was that Tom's interpretation of the storyline?
Well, yes, because he was a face at the time, and he also used to train with Riddle. He's also an MMA guy, so I took it all as gospel, and yes, there was the friendly rivalry, but it got a little cheeky. But what we get out of this is that Kross has been training with Riddle to prepare for Kojima, and Riddle keeps reminding Kross that Riddle's training is really going to help him in this match. And Kross is like, yeah, you keep saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. But we didn't get much of that because we got an interruption party.
Always. I didn't like that Kojima came out by himself, but I looked at it as Riddle and Kross both being baby faces, and it wasn't necessarily a threat, like a 2-on-1 hit against Kojima. It was just kind of like your boy coming to help you out. But it'll play out in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, they have also so this
Kojima's got no boys, but Kojima does have boys. LeBron James. I'm going to call him LeBron James at the end of time. We'll talk about LeBron James later in the show. But I thought maybe this would have been a good spot to kind of shine maybe LeBron in street clothes or a tank top looking jacked right over his shoulder. Maybe just being in the game would put him in the game. But, of course, my brain overthinks a million miles a minute. And if that were to happen, this next 25 seconds wouldn't make sense.
No, I was wondering where he was as his, not as his second as well. I mean, if Kross has a second, why wouldn't LeBron, who's like, his understudy now, his student, not his understudy, but his student, be his second as well? All three Skyscrapers came out, including Bishop Dyer. So we had Bishop, Bishop, and Dijak, as Lawler said. He likes to think of them as a law firm.
Triple threat. Yes, that was the Tom Lawler line of the week, is the law firm for sure.
And then we got the opposite of Skyscraper in Austin Aries coming out to join the interruption party. Although he made the best case for why he's there. I mean, he had this world open weight title, which puts him next in line. Who are these guys? What are they doing, claiming a spot in line? Don't they have other things to worry about?
I love you writing your notes knowing that I would just chuckle at the fucking short joke of an Austin Aries line. I appreciate you so much. More than anyone will ever know.
Oh, well, now they know.
I hate that motherfucker so bad. I saved it. I'm trying not to make it my gimmick.
You can make it your gimmick. It's fine. You can have multiple gimmicks. This is a podcast.
Well, I think it was whoever did the talking. I'm not sure who did the talking in the Skyscrapers. I apologize. It's usually Bishop. It's usually
Dijak.
It's usually Dijak, not Bishop. Excuse me. And he had mentioned that, like, with this gold, that they were just focusing their attention that we have this gold, we want that gold, which I like the idea of bringing out the little motherfucker with his little gold belt. Well, it's a big gold belt on his little body, which I get. So, yeah, I mean, I miss the old days where champions were like the number 2, 3, 4 contender for the next title up. I don't know if that works in the tag team division, but we get to our point here.
It was also a very flattering camera angle for Austin Aries, because from the angle, it just focused on his arms, which are thick, and so you didn't see how short he was. He just looked like a thick guy. He looked, so like Wolverine, short and.
This is the only time I'll defend him, but you could substitute. You could, if you switch Kojima, and if you took Austin Aries out and put Kojima where Aries was standing against the actual Skyscrapers and 2 legit big men, no one's gonna look tall. No one's going to look tall amongst 3 7-footers or 3 legit 6'5"ers at the very least.
Right. Now, one thing we learned interestingly is that Josh Bishop this very week has a WWE tryout at SummerSlam. So Bishop Thomas, or Mr. Bishop, is very much in play. Thomas Bishop. Yeah, it works any single way. And listen, they might need 2 of them, so maybe you can bring along your friend Big Trouble Ben Bishop.
Big
also.
Ben, I like Big Ben. Big Bishop sounds
good.
good.
You do. He's one of the 6 people you like.
That's it, man. I kind of like this because it got us where we needed to be. It built a match towards later, which if we're going to give me fuckery, give me a solution for the fuckery. And this solution, I don't have my notes here, but this solution led to a very random Matt Riddle versus Josh Bishop match later on, which I liked because those guys need something to do, and we don't need a trios match every week.
Yes, and there was a claim about surprise you passed your piss test on that. And
oh man, there was some listen. I'm glad you brought that up because it comes up later on. We live in 2026 where marijuana has been downgraded and deregulated and decontrolled and all this bullshit. It's no longer a federal crime. I can take this on a fucking airplane. I did it yesterday. Also not a crime. And we're still taking shots at Matt Riddle for failing drug tests from 15 years ago. Keep in mind, the same drug test that they're referencing, he legitimately, in a legitimate sport, beat 4 grown men back to back to back and never lost and was fired because weed existed.
Well,
so for you to stand, I don't care how big you are, for you to stand across from a UFC champion, he should have been champion, and talk shit about a drug test. If this was real life, and I hate talking about wrestling and this shit, but if this was real life, all three of these dudes would be fucking laying on the ground before they knew what happened. And if this was also real life, no one would disrespect a grown-ass man the way Josh Bishop did. And I'm glad this led to a match later, because if someone would have said that fucking shit to me, dude, zero hesitation. Well, on site, as the kids would say.
Don't be upset about it, because that's actually part of Matt Riddle's gimmick, or it has been for the last 6 months. He's like, I can beat up your favorite wrestlers. I can beat up any wrestler in the locker room, which, listen, I'm sure we could pick a few that maybe not. And if I was to pick one that maybe he couldn't, it might be Bishop Dyer, who's been a Golden Gloves champion and keeps winning all these Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitions and all that. And he does have a significant, reach. Anyway, not important.
I will say all marijuana is illegal in the state of South Carolina, where the show was filmed. So if we're going off local laws and registries, follow your state local laws, please.
It's also very kind of you to assume that the only thing that might be in Matt Riddle's system is marijuana in 2026. However, that said, the most notable thing is, to me, is that in all this fuckery, somebody who's been circling around all these people wasn't around, and it was Hammerstone, which led Rick Bocchini to find his balls, and he took control of this situation. He's like, enough, everyone order here. I want this contract signed. Also, Rick Bocchini, who before shaking pee in his pants practically whenever Hammerstone's around. Hammerstone's not around, and now he's like Tony Soprano.
Don't worry. He'll get his shakes in later on. He's in my notes. No need. He's going to be the judge. I will say, least favorite thing about this segment, if you go back and watch it back, it was definitely filmed in front of no crowd and no live studio audience. Unfortunately, but I understand there's so many moving parts. You don't want to fuck this one up. But again, don't be afraid to have hard cuts and edits in your wrestling television production in every form. I just watched The Prestige, my favorite movie. We're not going to get on Christopher Nolan movies this week. We're not going to get on Christopher Nolan movies last week. But one of the biggest takeaways from we will get on, I'm sure, but we have time to fill today. One of the things about The Prestige is, like, within the first 20 minutes of the movie, there's 167 quick cuts. It's just cut scene, cut scene, cut scene, cut scene, cut scene. The one thing about wrestling to make it look more fake is that it's one camera, that one Spice Girls music video where it's just one take the whole way through. It's just so unrealistic to me. And it would do the characters, it would do the wrestlers, it would do the motion, and the only cutaways they do is to the crowd for fake reactions. And when they cut back, it's not even like, it's just, it could be done better. We can do 2 shots. Like Scrubs, the shot. You only need 2 camera angles, 1 and 2. You don't need 7 angles to do shit. And I'm not talking for the wrestling itself. This is production on what's happening in front of you in this segment. This is a segment with moving parts. There should be moving cameras. They should have had a camera behind Rich, the camera behind Aries, the hard I mean, there could have been more. This could be, I'm not saying overproduced wrestling, but produce wrestling if you're going to produce wrestling. This is, you've already taken time out of everyone's day to come film this before we did the crowd, because we didn't want to do it live. Let's run it. Make it better.
Yeah. And anyway, it was once all this ended, a pretty lackluster contract signing, no incidents. I mean, Kojima caught a couple of bread strays. You hold your carbs well. I mean, some were strays, some were compliments. But contract got signed, and they shook hands, sign of respect. This was not Kross's finest acting. I've seen better.
He's got big hair again.
Yeah, so it's like it's a reverse Samson thing. The longer his hair gets, the worse the acting gets. Is that it?
Okay. Quick note here. I don't think it was mentioned, but Riddle beat Kojima for the title most recently, 2 title reigns ago. So I think that's maybe why he's in the corner, but I'm not sure if it was mentioned here on commentary. If it wasn't, I'm just going to mention it for everybody else.
Yeah, no, it should have been. And I was thinking that was probably right, and that makes more sense, to tie their rivalry with Kross and Riddle, their rivalry, but it's overcome because Riddle is helping Kross to face Kojima, but I'm sure Riddle, thinks he's going to beat either one of them or will influence it to defeat whichever one he wants later on. In any event, I figure with a 39-minute show, we can ask a few questions that should be answered by this point in the reboot of Fusion. And that is, where's Selena De La Renta and Cesar Duran?
Gone. This is episodic television, brother. They're in the last season. You're thinking about characters from yesteryear. We got no time to think about what happened last month. They're gone. We're moving on until it's time to move back again. It was teased. We got a tease a couple weeks ago that Cesar was back. What did Cesar say when his face and voice were distorted? Or was he being held captive? Or
yeah, well, that's what we heard. He might have been kidnapped by Contra. I mean, are we assuming he's murdered now, or the MLW just balked at the ransom? Because, well, we'll get to later why we're talking about that, but nothing about Selena or her baby pop up.
Happened internationally. It could be, a litigious thing between governments.
It could be. Maybe it happened in those international waters. Maybe one of those missile strikes in the Pacific or the Caribbean.
We do have some more news on international waters, but I think we have a match to get to first.
Hold on a second, because there's a couple other questions.
Oh, you're on your checklist. Cesar's gone.
I did some notes of things that have been picked up that started back when I last saw you in person, which was at Battle Riot itself, and also were picked up again since it's come back to TV. And one was the Clarissa Rivers, former Elektra Lopez, was scouting people. She hasn't been mentioned since. So where is Clarissa Rivers?
She's scouting internationally, man. These fights take time. Things take time. Sometimes talent's hard to find, develop, produce, customize. You're a litigious man. We don't expose what happens in real life here, but you can get a
transactional man than I am litigious these days.
I'm just saying, you know how long trademark paperwork takes and things of that nature, and you got to go through guidelines, man. You got to follow checklists, man, rules and regulations.
I understand. I mean, you got to take Cruz Montana through legal before you can.
I love Cruz Montana. The same amount of first letters in his first name, an equally Spanish last name. I don't know why everyone's so upset.
The Cross of the Mountain.
We weren't upset when it was Cesaro. We called him Cesaro. I still call him Cesaro. I don't even remember that he's Claudio no more.
No, his last name is way too many syllables. But yeah.
Westonoli is great. That's a great real name. It's crazy that he's got a amazing name.
Just because I can't say it doesn't mean it's not a great name. But you're right. It's the right amount of syllables. We Lufisto has explained this time and time again how they choose the names. We actually saw it on LFG this past 2 weeks ago, how Tristan Angels gets to choose, and then Sean and have their votes, and then they run it by legal. So it's not like he didn't choose it, and it literally means Cross Mountain or Crucifix Mountain. He's clearly a religious person, so why shouldn't he get that name? Anyway, this happens every time a name is changed. Keith Lee kept his name. EC3 kept their names. Didn't work out so well for them. There's no correlation between success and keeping your name. And
the one kid got his name back. LA Knight got his name back.
Right. And if he doesn't work out in WWE, which a lot of people don't, or at least not, then he can go back to his old name, and he hasn't signed it over to them, and he can go back to his own name and use merch that he probably already has in stock, as opposed to, but if he wants them to make merch, they need to own the name. It's very simple. Anyway,
Jeffrey, keep your logic and common sense out of my professional wrestling, and especially off my Twitter.
I'm definitely not keeping it off the podcast. All right. One other thing, we learned a week ago or so that Trevor Lee was possibly murdered, attacked the new Southern Crown Championship, which they made a big deal about. No follow-up on that whatsoever. They're in Charleston. It should matter.
The police are looking into it, I'm sure. But it was mentioned in this very match that we're going to talk about coming up that these two guys possibly contending for the
every time I bring up something that you think that should be brought up, Kevin should put up the image of him doing the Men in Black.
Oh, the neuralizer?
Yeah.
I do kind of like the idea of incorporating the neuralizer a little bit.
Yeah, we'll just hear that, Kevin. We need you to stand alone in there and neuralize me whenever I'm straying.
I'll have that next show for sure. Yes, sir.
Excellent.
All right, we've chatted too long. We have the giant Andrew Everett versus LeBron. What is he not Giant? Is his name not Andrew Everett?
His name is absolutely Andrew the Giant Everett. They're all pretending that he's 7'4" to 7'7". That's funny. It's just
I'm with it. You laughed at me because I referred to him as the Giant. I'm going off my notes here.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the whole thing. But
I will just say this: anyone that wears a singlet, whether it's a wrestler or a woman that I see at a bachelor party in Knoxville, I will call you the Giant because you were wearing the Giant singlet.
Strangely specific reference.
Well, I meant to say Nashville, but Tennessee, bachelorette capital of the world. Anyway. LeBron, what do you think about LeBron this week?
Good. I mean, he's really hitting that lariat. I did respect Lawler, by the way, going along with how agile and mobile and fast Andrew was for being so large, and how strong LeBron is being able to lift that 7'7" or up.
He's a super heavyweight.
Yeah, but he did the LeBron Cuzone or Cozone. I guess it's like ozone with a K. Mm-hmm. Did like a leaping backwards headbutt. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, Tom pointed that out. Very a rare move, but yeah, I'm all for it. Do something different. It was also mentioned by Joe Nebraska that these two both trained and grew up in the same area together. I don't know if it was North Carolina, that Carolina region, and kind of trained as they were both teenagers. So yeah, I don't know how loosely these guys are connected in real life, but there was definitely a Carolina connection there of sorts, which I like. And this match kind of showed it because they went longer than your normal 3-minute squash. This was more than just entrance. They got their shit in for sure. Yeah, they did. Andrew Everett, I remember, back when he was in Impact, they thought he was part of the Matt Hardy, Cameron Grimes, who's Trevor Lee sort of family tree of wrestling. Oh, well, that makes sense why the commentators were putting over that the winner of this match will probably be in contention for the Southern Weight title. I'm going to call it the Southern whatever. Southern Weight title sounds great. The Southern Weight title that's held by Trevor Lee, who was laid out last week that we got no answers to, but the show's not over, Jeff. I'm going to call it the Crown Royal Championship because I need a drink whenever I think about it. He meaning LeBron, took Everett's head off with this lariat, which is exactly what's supposed to happen. Again, we spoke about who he gave the last lariat to and why you do not decapitate 50-year-old men in the wrestling ring. So next week, you can take off the younger kid that you grew up with who can take this shot to the fucking forehead. And this thing looked nasty. Nobody getting up from that thing. I wasn't completely sold on LeBron 4 weeks ago based off jealousy and his lack of knee pads. But I've grown past that. I've gone way past that. And now I appreciate his, knee down physique, and his lariat's the fucking shit. So I'm all for it. I don't know if I'd call it the old Lariat Tubman, but if you want your Lariat Tubman t-shirt, check out the old Devastation Corporation Pro Wrestling Tees at prowrestlingtees.com/Devastation Corp and get your Lariat Tubman t-shirt that was created and invented by yours truly way back in 2014, before your favorite wrestler was even born. So anyone who's used it since then owes me royalties. Jeff, we won't get on it, but I do have time. No. I'm looking forward to more of your t-shirt designs. I'll wait till Tony Khan puts it up, and then we'll really get them. Don't worry. Okay. Well, you all thought that the Cruz Montana conversation about trademarks was about nothing. But no, it relates to MLW because now we meet not Gallus, not the Gallus boys on top, but the Glasgow boys on top. Mm-hmm. But we only meet Mark Coffey, who does all of the talking for all three of them. And basically they say wherever they go, they win gold and win. And I'm not really sure that's my recollection exactly, but, okay. They're winners. My notes here, Irish guys out for the promo. What are they calling them? The Glasgow, Scotland, Scottish guys? Oh, Irish, Glasgow, whatever. Fucking they talk funny. Dudes that talk funny. Glasgow boys on top. GBOT. A few things here. Shout out to Rich for looking disheveled. He was back to shaking. And brother did have a good fucking hold on him, too. So I'm about that. Irish guys in for the promo in the aisle. They spelled something at the end. I'm not sure what it spelled. I could not understand. Still Scottish. Still Glasgow boys on top. GBOT. GBOT. GBOT.
Just flows off the tongue.
Glasgow. Oh, fuck. That's what he said? Hold on. I'm trying to. Anyway, he said that with a mouthful of shit. I had no idea what he was talking about. This was good. I'm glad to build them because we haven't seen them. This leads me to believe that we'll see them in some type of match going forward next week. Do you see this more as a Freebird rule tag team or more as a the two brothers Teeman and the stocky one that talked kind of doing the singles thing? Because he kind of made sure that not just tag gold, singles gold was in their future.
Yeah, well, they mentioned Trevor Lee, and there was some innuendo that maybe they had something to do with him being destroyed.
Dog walked that bitch when he wasn't looking. They didn't. It wouldn't take three of them. I'm just saying.
But the Freebird rule certainly would make sense because you've got the CONTRA Mercs with Kruger there.
It seems to be the theme for all the 5 groups that we have right now.
Yeah, you have the 3 Skyscrapers, and although we know one is leaving, they haven't left yet, and they will be replaced by Mr. Thomas Bishop.
Well, let me say this: the future of the tag team division is very sketchy right now, and I think we're almost to the point where they'll have the women's division multiplied with men, just for the 4x4, or excuse me, the 2x2, 4 teams of 2 instead of the 4 ladies. That round robin, it'll probably be whoever ends up actually staying. If anyone of the Skyscrapers stick around, it'll probably be those two of these guys. There was a new team that was developing somewhere, and I guess we'll fill in the gap somewhere else to kind of shift this tag team division right now, because boy, is this shit in shambles. And once the CONTRA Mercs and the Good Brothers are either there or not there, I'm not sure what happens to the rest of this tag team division. But this looks like a new good tag team and a fresh start to that, and it kind of looks like we got a whodunit with Trevor Lee, and then we're building to that too. So.
Nobody can say that these guys are not professional wrestlers. They're absolutely professional wrestlers. They helped train The Rock a couple years ago for his comeback to WrestleMania. Say what you want about that, but the guy's like 57 years old. And
this is good.
Yeah.
Wrestling is the last thing we have to worry. Their matches will be excellent, and they fucking hit hard. So I'm down for that. And if there's 2 of them, awesome. If there's only one beating the shit out of somebody else, I'm cool with that as well.
Speaking of the women, we learned that MLW and Stardom have an alliance, and on the graphic, it seems like Priscilla Kelly is seemingly included. We weren't sure if she was going to be a regular, semi-regular.
I think she did the voiceover for this little vignette.
I believe so.
And very soft-spoken. Shout out to her. That's all. Whatever she's been posting on the Twitter machine is crazy. Whatever people need to go like and subscribe, please go like and subscribe.
Still waiting for her to guest on this very show or on the Out of Character show.
I will not communicate or contact her in any way unless it's her reaching out to me first. I have rules and guidelines and standards when it comes to women in this business, Jeff. So shout out to Priscilla Kelly. She wants to come on the pod.
Okay.
She knows how to reach me.
I'm asking, but you are Thomas's favorite redhead or candy corn head, because you have 3 different colors.
It was orange and red this week, but we'll get to that in a short
and
minute.
Yellow. I'm not even including the roots as a 4th color. So anyway, we see the Burning Roses, and Priscilla Kelly comes out. She's not even scheduled for action today.
No, there was a commercial in here earlier, so we're going to hear from her. I guess we're going to hear from her for sure. But she did do the overlay on the Stardom MLW partnership, so add that to the list of companies that they work with. Looks like we're just going to get 2 more Asian girls, which I'm okay with. Which led to, again, Priscilla coming out and showing off all her greatest features. And she had shit to say. She had something to talk about.
Yeah, she's like, Zamaya, you got lucky last time. You don't get over me. I learn and I adapt, and you don't. Blah blah blah. Are you ready to come out? And Zamaya's like, yeah, bitch, I'm coming right out.
And she went to go say more shit. Hits Zamaya music, bro. I love that
Absolutely.
Shit. Cut her off mid sentence because she ain't got time for this talk.
And ref David Sanderson's there. Hi, David.
Your boy. Shockingly quick. I looked down on the scroll and I thought this was going to go longer than what it did. Quicker than last time, but still not as long as I expected.
More competitive, though. And at some point, the lights went out and it seemed like it was for effect. So I was wondering if we were going to get the CONTRA logo or something, but it just seemed like they had a power outage or a glitch.
Sometimes shit happens, man. People unplug the fucking switch in the back to try to plug their phone in, and the whole town shuts down. I
blame David. David definitely tripped over the extension cord. Lawler makes a comment during this that he has been beaten up by Stardom women before, and then clarifies it that it's been in mixed gender matches. I'm not so sure about the last part, but good save, Tom. Good save.
Tom's the greatest commentator on earth. More of him. This was good.
Yeah,
I like the hot start. She kind of cut her off to try to get the upper edge on him, and like you said, it was a little more competitive than the last time. Priscilla's good. She's just she's not Zamaya at all.
No, we both like both of these women. We both like what we've seen from Zamaya. We love the way they built her. We love the way that they portrayed her and protected her. She did a Death Valley driver, great classic move for the win.
DVD for the finish.
Yeah, she looks great. Lots of hair colors going on. She's got a sort of unique look going on there, and certainly stands out in this particular division, which has a lot of interesting looking women.
Sure. We already previewed this, but next week we have Mads versus Big Damo, which I like as a payoff due to the interference from last week's trios match. We also have the trios match, yada, yada, yada. We talked about this earlier. Do you have the notes on who's in that match before I yada, yada over it?
No.
We'll talk about it next week then. Perfect. But 2 weeks from now, not next week, 2 weeks, we're building future television. The opening segment's got to pay off where we have Killer Kross goes one-on-one with Kojima for the world title. Kojima looking to become the first 3-time MLW world champion. I think that match is going to be very, very good. I hope it was filmed in Charleston because that set and the way the backdrop is with those, it just gives it production value, and I fucking love it.
I think it was. I think it's part of the FantasticaMania. I think it's perfect. So it should be part. I hope so. Then I
expect that to go 30 minutes and not a fucking dollar short. And like, if Kross left television to come have world title matches with people like Kojima, I hope they get time to tell that story. Yeah,
I'm all for it. We did see coming attraction for Big 400 Jumbo coming, and I don't think I'm ruining anything for anybody by telling you that that's Kananga, the Caribbean Butcher, without the contra mask and the sky and the spike.
Hey, it is what it is. Can I leave one note? We kind of got off topic here for a second.
You can, but we're not. I mean, that was an order, but you absolutely can.
It's my show. I am on the host side, bro.
I'm barely a co-host. It says so right there.
Very rarely do I go back and watch old wrestling, but they got me on one of these. It's usually Facebook or Twitter that has like long form videos with no bullshit, and I watched probably the last like 20 minutes of a like Masala versus Kojima match, and that shit was fucking awesome.
Okay, well that's good for a lot of reasons, because I thought you were about to tell me how you've seen a Jumbo 400 good match. So
anyone Joe, go check out.
I was going to drug test you.
Masala versus Kojima from August 18th, 2026. Do yourself a favor. Wrestling was amazing, and let's not forget Masala died in the ring doing what we love to talk about and what we love to bullshit about and what we fucking bitch about on the internet. That man gave his fucking life for it. That's it.
Okay. Oh, wow. How do you follow that? We follow that with the Contra Mercs looking for info on what appeared to be a television store from 1974, all static with like goggles on it.
Where was this filmed? There must be something. They had to film this in Charleston somewhere, because I also noticed exactly what you were talking about, and I couldn't take my eyes off how this seemed unlike anything that's on wrestling television or in MLW anyway. It was very unique, and I don't know if it was in a store, if this was just a piece of something that production had or found or made or something from Court's house. I don't know what it was, but it made I loved it.
I have to believe it's either from a museum or like an art piece where they just put a bunch of like little old, like those kitchen TVs that grandparents used to have at the corner.
I've seen something similar in like an Asian themed restaurant in Mexico where the wall is kind of like those little like 13-inch, like a size TV that like your grandmother would have had in her bathroom or kitchen or some weird place in the house. It was a bunch of those. Like stacked across the whole wall, and you would either play something individually or they'd be stacked out, or it would go in unison and play like something together. And I just found it very, very interesting to whatever the fuck was going on in this.
Well, speaking of Asian themed, Shotzi seemed to be leading the intellectual computerized search to
I
find
think
out
she was trying to connect to the internet.
Yes, exactly, the dark web, and she was trying to figure out a big demo.
At one point asked her
CONTRA.
if she was Google or to look something up or find I don't know. He asked her to do something very unmonster like, and I just loved that everyone was going with it. But I will say these NWO themed promos are growing on me because I thought this one was
fun. They're fun. They're funny. It's old technology. They're looking to see if they can find a big demo was signed. You think maybe they could just call the office.
Googling a demo was signed.
Yeah, they wanted information on the skyscrapers. The whole thing. Then we see the CONTRA logo again, and we hear that there is breaking news in the back, and we follow the camera back. A bunch of refs and people go into a room where the inference is that's where Teddy Long is supposed to be, who is supposed to come out and give us a giant announcement. We don't see inside the room, but LeBron makes his way in and he goes, "Oh no, this ain't gonna something like this. Oh shit, this isn't gonna stand." So apparently Teddy Long has been beaten down, and it seems like by CONTRA. So are they trying to get rid of all GMs and potential GMs, or all presidents and potential presidents? Is Court safe?
No, it doesn't seem like anybody's safe. Did we not see this last week? Did Teddy Long get laid out last week, or did I see this out of order somewhere? Because I feel like I've seen this before.
I don't know.
Is this the same thing from, or am I confusing this with Trevor Lee?
It might be. I think you're confusing it with Trevor Lee, or you got inside information. You got insider scoop.
But there was a mention at some point of a Teddy Long potentially running for president and GM of MLW.
Right. Rumors are swirling. Yeah, which is why I was asking about Cesar and Selena. I mean, we saw Jesus Rodriguez a few weeks ago on TV. He was part of their group. We haven't seen any Aztecas. I mean, it's all very troubling to me. I feel very close to Cesar because he's your friend, which makes him my friend.
Well, I don't know. We'll find out where he's at.
All right.
Another whodunit. And I hate it.
Well, speaking of other favorites, Austin Aries comes out to commentary, and they go, "Why are you here?" He's like, "Because I can go wherever I want to go." Why are you here, Dombrowski?
In his defense, he was once on the commentary team before Tom came back, when Tom was out doing hip stuff. So that kind of makes sense. I faded out the second I saw and heard him, so I didn't listen to much of his commentary. But yeah, we're getting into the main event here. A-Double's out first.
I've liked him on commentary in the past. He's pretty funny. He's biting, but he's funny. But
I'm sure he's good at talking shit. He's not good at being tall, which leads to our main event of Matt Riddle versus Josh Bishop, which it seemed like we had a good amount of time left, and I knew this was going to be good wrestling. Riddle is always capable of going 15-20 with anybody. Josh is very good. One of my favorites. Main event bullshit. Good match. Nice and long.
Yeah. Good, solid wrestling match. I need to mute my mic.
No, not you. That was through production, not you. Don't read private chat comments out loud there, co-host. I love you long time, though.
Okay. All right. All right. How many weeks are we going to have the end of the show be the Skyscrapers and the Good Brothers brawling to end the show?
As many as it takes. I feel like I keep saying this week in and week out when we talk about the tag team division. At any moment, this will be over. I don't know which monster blow-off or feud we're going to get to, but it's got to end eventually because we're 7.5 weeks in at this point. And I need a payoff. And whatever cage match, 8-man Survivor Series, Hell in a War Chamber, on a pole match, this has to be with Shotzi. Let's get to it quick. Can't come quick enough.
I just have to believe that there's a different ending that somebody can come up with just so that there's not 3 weeks in a row with the same ending on television.
You know what could have went well in the middle of all this? A tag title change. You could have switched these titles at any second and kept the feud going because you know what I mean? How many times are the good guys going to get fucked over?
And why is
just either give them the belts or don't? They've been there for 9 months now. They're clearly coming back next month. Give them the titles. Give them the titles.
Why not? I mean, the one guy's asking for $900,000 expense accounts or whatever, and the new Range Rover. So yeah, I mean, you got to do something about it. All right. Well, this distraction led to an RKO because Josh Bishop is watching his friends be in the brawl, and stupid heel move there, I guess. And
before we got to that, shout out to Josh Bishop with the superplex into the powerbomb combo.
I mean, he's great.
This was good. Riddle sells like a champ. Josh Bishop looks like a real professional wrestler. Mm-hmm. Whatever your definition, whatever your father and uncle thought were pro wrestlers is what Josh Bishop looks like walking through the airport. This motherfucker's big, he's jacked, he's tan. He looks like he chews tobacco. I don't know his personal life, but if he did, I think he would spit it in your fucking face and wipe the floor with you. He's the real deal.
His finisher also has a cool name, which is a very simple name, and it's the Exit 187. That's what he calls, which is probably where he lives. He probably lives off Exit 187
somewhere in Ohio.
Right. Someplace like this, parts unknown.
Jeffersonville, Indiana, off the highway, off the freeway, brother. Can't miss it.
Well, if he's babysit, it's Exit 187 off of wherever he damn well pleases.
Off of wherever the next softball game is.
That too. So anyway, Riddle hits the Super Swanton for the win. We get the Contra, hack again, and Big Damo promo. It's official. He's part of Contra, and Kruger, he's coming for you. You never fought anyone like me.
Did not see this. I turned this off after Riddle won, and I apologize. I closed my laptop.
You refuse to accept that Big Damo is now part of Contra, and there have been some pretty interesting retweets about Big Damo coming to Contra, and since they've been retweeted, I don't feel like I'm really spoiling anything. But you're giving me the shake, so I won't. But I
don't think we're spoiling anything at all. And please fill me in because I don't pay attention that much to social.
Well, the retreat was another big man who we have had on our show before, who maybe could be in Contra and be another super heavyweight. And one arms power slam guy, Rick Savage. He retweeted the Big Damo I'm part of Contra thing.
As he should.
Which is interesting because I think everyone's been wondering when's he going to start to be on TV or something TV adjacent anyway. And maybe we're going to find out maybe as soon as next week.
Well, Contra's back in full flesh. Last week we got the dark, mysterious figure who may or may not be a previous Contra leader from a foreign time. So yeah, shit's happening, and we're always getting that Contra flash. Always.
Hail, Contra.
I hate them. They stink.
I love Contra. I can't find my Contra shirt.
Solid 39 minutes of wrestling television this week. Keep it up.
And a solid 49 minutes of us talking.
Literally. Love to see it. Did we skip anything? Anything else that we got to look forward to next week?
No. We did. Not only did we not skip things, but we had bonus conversation, including some pre-show banter about our vehicles.
And we got new cars. This podcast is paying for new cars. Crazy. Right. What happens when you go from there being no MLW review shows to one MLW review show? Shout out to the Sports Jedi podcast for letting us do our shit.
Big time. Major League. That's us. Major League podcast. Well,
I'm gonna go buy another car, I guess. I'm gonna go shop for a new car since
as long as it's not a Toyota. Stay away from Toyotas.
Hey, shout out to Toyota. No shout out to Toyota.
Shout out to whoever wants to sponsor us. Toyota is just
fine. Searching for sponsors. Yeah, LA was good, Jeff. I'm back home in the humidity. San Diego was good as well. There's a lot of shenanigans going on there prior to Comic-Con week.
Sure.
I was run out of San Diego. I was priced out of San Diego because the nerds were in town.
So you were not part of Comic-Con?
I left the day Comic-Con started because
was our mutual friend April in Comic-Con?
I don't know who was there. There's a lot of people there who I know. A part of me wish I would have stuck around for an extra day, but I'm glad I did. You know,
because I know April's a Comic-Con kind of gal, and she did tell me that she was traveling, which that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's exactly. Everyone in the world was there, which is why the fuck I got out. I left that day.
There was like an alternate con though, like in North Carolina, because I know that Jasmine St. Clair.
Oh, at the BrokeyCon, Jazz Con.
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 Might have been like a horror con. I don't know. Whatever it is.
I mean, it's scare season, Fright Fest type. These bullshit sign-ins where people go and you see some fucking scary movie chick that you were obsessed with from 10 years ago. With that being said, I know this because Starlet from The Boys is coming to the Florida State Fairgrounds for my bullshit Fright Fest or whatever they call it down here.
Oh, is she the actress who like her physical appearance like dramatic?
Oh, she's a whole different human. Yes.
Well, that's terrifying.
I like her though. She's cool. Starlight. I just say Starlight, not Starlet. Starlight.
Yeah. All I know is that she reminded me of the cheerleader from Heroes, and then I saw the recent picture. I'm just like, it was like Ariana Grande from Wicked.
Yeah, I don't know. After the nose, once you fuck with your nose, the rest of your face fucking morphs. I think that's our beef. You know, you do the nose and you suck all the shit out your face, and then like it collapses on itself.
I think it's like a tattoo. Once you get plastic surgery, you have to keep getting more. It's like once you get one tattoo, your body's a canvas, so you might as well desecrate it.
And then now I dabble that with a little bit of the Ozempic on top, and then ruin your whole body inside.
Oh yeah, I'm on week 5 of my GLP.
Hell yeah, Jeff, fucking get it.
That's right. I got to fit into my Danhausen jersey again.
All right, well, I'm out of here. I charge way too much for overtime, and we're approaching our hour.
There you go. All right, well, tell everyone where they can find and follow you.
No, I got nothing to shout out. Shout out to nobody this week except for myself and everything that I mentioned. Watch some wrestling.
Was that an Odyssey reference? Shout out to nobody? Shout
out to nobody. Nobody to be shouted at.
Nobody blinded me, brothers. Nobody blinded me.
Shout out to your local pizza parlor. No, I'm liking this MLW bullshit fusion. Weekly episodic television is better when you watch it every week and you don't catch up last minute. So it makes sense, which is why I have such a hard time getting into any of the other wrestling episodic television shows because I just can't follow all this stuff. I got shit to do on Monday night. I got to do this on Monday night. I can't watch TV every Wednesday night. I have a life to live.
I watched AAA this week in Spanish.
It's always better in Spanish. I watch the whole World Cup in Spanish. I advise everyone else do the same. Shout out your shit, Joe.
I'm developing the crush on La Hydra. So, or maybe it's already been developed. Yeah, you can find me on the X at @dose_evil. You can find me, of course, here on the Sports Jedi Network. It's not just the MLW Files, well, that is my flagship, but also tomorrow night I'm back with Kevin where we do the NXT review show, which is what the Padawan Awakens is. I'm going to learn this name at some point. I did a Garden of Thought yesterday with one of my favorite guests, Professor John F. White from Crackenford.
What's he a professor in?
He is a professor. He's a mythologist. He's probably the most well-known mythologist and folklorist of Indo-European history, mythology in the world. He actually is building the database that 350 universities, including places like Harvard and Stanford and Oxford, using and thousands.
What about University of Tampa and USF? What about the small universities down here?
Well, he's doing it all on his dime. It's for free. He's making it available for free. He's a great.
What about my alma mater of Penn State University, Abington?
Maybe not that one, but probably Penn State. College Station or wherever it is.
Shout out Penn State.
Yeah. Actually, I am semi-related to people who own the school bookstores there and like the sweatshirts and whatever.
You always got your hands in somebody else's pockets, Jeff.
I don't at all. I'm only it's like on my brother's side, like through marriage. Anyway, I'm also this Wednesday another Garden of Thought with a gentleman named Thomas Joseph, and he's got ideas on better representative government. And of course,
send me that link.
Yeah, for sure.
Blow up the Electoral College?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't pre with guests. I don't know what his idea is. I have my one ring that'll rule them all.
Jeff, how many hours of content are you doing a week?
Way too many.
That's all I need to hear.
Yes, and Lufisto and I, LFG on Wrestling Soup. So support that, and also support my friends on Wrestling Soup and Friendos and Podcast for the Unappreciated Wrestling Fan and Marie Shadows and all of that other good stuff as well. So yeah, but yeah, I'm doing way too much, but I have no life. So there you go.
Hell yeah, that's
Thomas has too much life. I have too little. Together we're perfect. He's got the moves. I got the motion.
Live my life. Jeff, take it easy. Shout out to everyone in production, everyone that watches, all 6 people who comment and send messages throughout the week about my lack of pronunciation. So,
or pronunciation.
Pronunciation, you fucking devils.
It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you.
Take it easy, man.
Thank y'all guys. Y'all are awesome.